What's going on, guys? James here, and I want to talk to you today about why it's so important to learn about language, why it's so important to understand the subconscious mind and the structures of belief that we all have going on. Because what happens is we're all actually hypnotists, okay? I've been studying the subconscious mind, hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, all of those things for quite some time now. And the first thing I realized is that all of us are hypnotists. I hypnotize you, you hypnotize me just by having a conversation, right? Because our unconscious mind has to generate an experience so that we process it through our thoughts and our beliefs and our filters. And then we speak that thought through words, through language, out through our mouth. And it goes into the person's mind sitting across from us. And then they have to pick it up through their ears, through their antenna. And then it goes and filters through all of their experiences, all of their beliefs, all of their filters and judgments through life, and then it goes down into the unconscious mind where it's actually understood. So at the very basic level, just talking to someone is hypnotizing them. You're taking a thought from inside your head and placing it in their head so that they understand your experience of reality. Like, I think that's such a cool freaking thing, and that's why I've spent so much time learning about how the subconscious and your unconscious now, like how it works. You know what I mean? It's so important. And yesterday, I was connecting with a friend, and I want to just share with you the power of being able to understand language patterns and understand how all of these things connect in your own mind so that you can become a better human being, so that you can communicate your understanding, your viewpoint better, and also so that you can understand when someone is talking about them, but they're making it about you, right? How many times in relationships have we heard someone say something about us? We didn't realize, though, it's actually their own pain and trauma that they're projecting. So when you understand how to communicate and how communication and hypnosis works, my friends, you're not going to be triggered as much. You're going to have better, healthier relationships. And if you're like me, you get to help people. Like my friend yesterday, I met him serendipitously on a walk. My plan got canceled. I was like, I'm going to go there anyway. I'm just going to walk down the street. And my friend was like, yo, James, what's up? And we had recently had a session together, and he went through so much stuff, so many emotions during the session. And he said, since then, he had been drowning in a sea of sadness. Right? So how many of us have drowned in a sea of sadness before? My girlfriend used to tell me, James, it feels like you're drowning in an ocean of emotion and you're trying to pull me down with you. I can't do this. Go get a therapist. So, of course, I went to a hypnotherapist. She did her thing, and then my life transformed forever. In 3 sessions, I literally went from making minimum wage to doubling my pay to $20 an hour. I moved out of my mom's house. This is a couple years ago. And for the first time in my life ever, my mom and dad sat down together and watched a movie with me. So after we reprogram our unconscious mind and those belief systems that get caught up and stuck and filter out all the goodness in our life, when we reprogram that at a subconscious level, it looks like magic's happening in the world. But in reality, what's really happening is you're beginning to see what was already there. It's like you've been looking down at the ground like this. You got blinders on because these are your belief systems and filters. And then you're just like, oh shit, there's birds. Oh, there's clouds. Oh, there's flowers. Oh, there's so much stuff going on around me. So me and my friend were walking. He said, I'm so sad, man. I'm so sad. I don't know what to do. I'm just so sad. I'm like, you're only sad because you won't feel sad. How interesting is that? We carry emotions around like a backpack and think it's us. Oh no, I'm going to get stuck in sadness. Oh no, I'm going to be miserable forever. Oh no, my heart is going to be broken forever. And we think we're going to be stuck in that. But the reason why we're stuck in it is because we won't feel it in the first place. I literally told him, if you feel it for 30 seconds, it'll go away. You've been stuck in sadness for 3 weeks. If you feel the sadness, it'll go away in 30 seconds, guaranteed. And it turned out by the end of our conversation, he didn't even need to feel the sadness because the sadness was a lie he was telling himself. The sadness was an old story from childhood, from 10 years ago that he was carrying around. And the reason why it felt painful is because it wasn't aligned with his deepest truth now. right? How many of us ruminate in our mind again and again and again after we have an argument, and we keep telling the same story? This person's stupid. I hate this person. Da da da. They're the blah blah blah. We're all telling ourselves these stories in our mind, and it's taking us away from everything here now. Focusing your attention on the here and now will allow you to open your mind, open your reality, and open your experience of life. It'll allow you to step out of sadness, just like my friend. I literally was like, dude, you're focused on what you don't have. 10% of what you don't have. 10% of what you're losing, right? But there's 90% of all the stuff right here, right now that you're not even looking at, because our brain is wired to see the pain, right? Because it's a survival mechanism. If you touch a stove, ow, 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 right? It hurts. And you never do it again, because we remember pain so we can gain the wisdom so we don't do the same thing again. But someone can tell you they love you, you're good enough, you're amazing 150 times, and you're like, oh, yeah, thanks. And it doesn't really resonate in the same way, because it's not going into your survival, it's not going into your brainstem. Pain goes into your brainstem instantly. But if someone tells you the truth, which you're good enough, you're amazing, you're fantastic, those things for some reason get filtered out, especially if we have a belief system that we're not good enough or we're different, right? So what he did was he just looked up. He just took the blinders off and he made a joke. That's what got him out of his sadness. I reminded him that he is the heart inside of him. I reminded him that he's the soul. He's not the story that he's been telling me for 3 years. We literally had the same conversation 3 years ago, but he wanted to carry the backpack for 3 years. As soon as he took that off, he made a joke, his whole posture changed. His face changed. He was laughing. He was vibrant. I felt as soon as he made a joke, his heart popped open. I was like, oh shit, that's you. That's who you are. That's your heart, man. That's you, my friend. Right? You can even feel it. Like when my heart opens, you can feel the difference between this and sadness, right? Sadness, you look down, but when you're happy, you're like, it's so expansive, right? So this is why it's so important to understand why language is the building blocks of our experience. If you tell yourself a certain story, you're going to have an experience. If you throw that old story out now and create a new story for yourself using language patterns that I would love to teach you, just send me a message. I'm putting together a program on hypnotic language patterns that can't be beaten, and facing your inner demons and your dragons, not just killing them, because that's the old way, that's the patriarchal way of doing things. What I'm talking about is facing your dragons, finding your dragons, taming your dragons, because they're your unconscious mind. They're protectors that are sabotaging your success in life, your relationships. If we can get them on our side as opposed to fighting against them, then we become a dragon rider. We hop on those dragons and we ride them off into the sunset, into our dreams on the horizon. Because the universe is already manifested everything that you desire. People think manifestation is about making something. I have to manifest something. No, you don't manifest grass growing. You don't manifest the clouds raining. You don't manifest a flower opening. The power of the universe that's doing all those things without you needing to think about it has already manifested everything that you want. If you want a car, it's already there. You just don't have access to it because you're telling yourself a limiting story that, I mean, quite frankly, you're full of shit, right? That's why I kind of cut through the bullshit and open up the hearts of people, because I know that I'm good enough. I know that I'm here, and because I know that, and I'm a human being, and you're a human being, that means you are too. If I have access to unlimited abundance and space in my heart because I let go of all the old emotions, you, my friends, are so much more than deserving of that same love, and you are so much more than good enough of that same love. So when you understand how to use the language patterns, how to understand the structure of the unconscious mind, which I can help you, then you're going to notice and experience a completely different world. My reality is shifting every single week because I'm doing this unconscious belief work, and things from childhood that have held me back from my entire life, from love, from money, from service, from growth, from expansion. All those things are falling away now. And I am opening up into a more expansive version of myself so I can help more people just like you. So if you're interested in learning about language patterns and hypnotic language patterns, right, because they're all hypnotic language patterns, but there's some that are way more powerful than others. If you're interested in that, drop a comment, send me a message, let me know, because I'm going to be launching a new beta test program, and I'm looking for people who are interested in changing their freaking lives forever, okay? So hit me up. I appreciate you for tuning into this very intuitive, very spur of the moment message, and I hope that you take me up on my offer, because this stuff will change your life forever.